All right, what's going on, everybody? You guys see me okay? Yeah, awesome. So today we're going to be talking about foot mechanics, and we're going to talk about how foot mechanics can actually influence your hip mobility and also your lower back pain as well. Now, before we dive in, if this is your first call, want to make sure whenever you want to ask the questions, you're shared the win of the week first, and then you're able to go ahead and ask your questions. Okay. And we're going to cover all the questions regarding to today's topics, and then we're going to cover other questions that might just be related to your personal personal exercise. So now let me share my screen real quick here. Can you guys see this okay? Okay. Now, so you can just raise your hand. So anybody's now on this call know why we need to focus so much on your foot. Any guess? Why I really hate all those yeah, let me just find one like probably the exercise that I hate the most. That will be 90-90 hip mobility. Oops, my spelling is crazy. Sorry about this, guys. Now, nothing against this dude, but anybody here know why I hate exercise like this? Why I never use those sort of exercise? Just moving your hips around. Any guess? You can unmute yourself.
Because it doesn't account for ground reaction forces.
Nice. Well, that's why you're the chemistry teacher
Yeah.
because you learn, right? So the things with those exercise, and I'll stop sharing my screen as well, is so all those 90-90 exercise, okay, you just lay on the ground and you just rotate your femur basically. But that is not gonna do anything. Okay. So to truly assess your hip rotations, internal rotations and external rotations, so you can walk properly with relative motions and without hurting your lower back, to actually do this, you need to apply force into the ground. So your tibia can move and your femur can move and then your pelvis can move alongside with it. So let me show you this. This is the picture we're looking for. So you need to really apply the force into the ground. So your foot can pronate, your tibia can rotate inward, your femur can rotate inward, and then your pelvis can access internal rotations. And that is what we're looking for. Now, just by, moving through your pelvis, moving through your femur, through this range of motion, doesn't really mean anything. That's why you can do a lot of those exercises for years, and then you get up, you move around, you retest your range of motion, internal rotation, external rotation, your body back to ground zero because your body have no idea what this exercise means. Now, don't get me wrong, if you already have pretty good hip range of motion, hip mobility, you can 100% use exercise like this to warm up your body before the game or before any other activities. But most of us on this call, you have back pain, which means you don't have a really good hip mobility. So you're not supposed to do this exercise to make your back feel looser. You need to do other exercise that take your foot, take your tibia, take your femur, pelvis into account. So that way, once you change your range of motion, you can do exercise like this to help you maintain looser, basically. Okay. And that's the first reason why we gotta train your foot because The foot is basically the first things that ever touch the ground. Now, if your foot can't pronate properly, your tibia will stuck. If your tibia is stuck, your femur is stuck. Now, and then you're probably going to have some knee problem. Now, if your femur is stuck, then your pelvis cannot access this internal rotations. So a lot of time when people say, hey, I want to trim my pelvis, I want to move my hip from external rotation to the internal rotations, but they don't consider anything on the ground, well, they're just doing themselves a disservice. Everything start at the bottom. And that would be the first key to unlock your hip mobility. You need to understand the full mechanics alongside with everything else. But this one is super simple. Okay. Any question on this part? All good? Crystal clear? Give me a thumbs up if yes. All right, cool. Now, the second part to unlock your hip mobility is the full reference. So you really need to make sure when you walk, when you do all those mobility drills, like all the mobility drill we give you, like 90-90 hip lift, like some of you are doing a single leg hinge, or just when you're on the ground, gonna do the grounding exercise. All of that, you need to make sure you specifically emphasize on one and three. Again, the reason why we do this, the base of your first metatarsal head and your inner heel. When you focus on those 2 points, here is what's gonna do to your foot arch. Once you press in, you focus on those 2 points, your foot arch it is going to drop. Now, once your foot arch is able to drop, your tibia will rotate inward a little bit as well. This motion is what we're looking for. Okay. Now, once your tibia can move, then your femur can move. Once your femur can move, your pelvis can move. And that is why you really need to focus on those 2 points so your arch can actually drop into the floor. Now, it's not going to be this obvious, okay? It will be super subtle, but you're going to feel the difference. Now, if you're constantly on the outside edge of your foot, your tibia are going to be stuck in the external rotated positions. And but your body also need internal rotation. So a lot of time you're going to see, okay, people's tibia is actually turning outward, but their femur is turning inward. So they have this bow leg structures. And I'll show you real quick as well. If I can see a really good one. Yeah, really, really typical presentations. Pretty high foot arch presentation as well. So now here is what happened. Now, from these pictures, it looks like your femur is actually in internal rotation. Your tibia is actually in external rotations. So that looks like exactly the opposite of what I was talking about. But here's the thing. I think this person got into this presentation for way too long. So that is how his body actually compensate. Now, so the first compensation should be, okay, right now your tibia actually moving in and then your femurs is moving out. Now he's doing the exact opposite because he losing too much of losing too much of internal rotation. So he just literally turn his leg out so he can fake a little bit internal rotations. And this is not what we're looking for. So if you have like this, it's not gonna be a huge problem if you don't have any pain, but if you do have pain, there's gonna be a major problem for you. Yeah, this one is gonna be a better pictures. If I can move this a little bit higher. Um, Strange where the picture goes. But essentially, what am I talking about? You need to make sure, okay, we can actually drop your full arch, tibia, move inward, femur move inward so your pelvis can move. Now, everything else, like X leg or bow leg, is not gonna help with your hip mobility. Now, if you already have this type of presentation, no worries. You can 100% improve your range of motion, your hip mobility as well, and get to a point where your body is pretty balanced and you don't feel any pain, even if you already have this presentation. But the key here is, again, you need to make sure you focus on point three and point one on your full context. Now, everybody, uh, let's get on the floor real quick. Just quickly retest your range of motion, quickly retest your hip internal, external rotations. Just want to get a little bit reference point. And then I want you to take off your shoes. I want you to walk barefoot. And then I just really want you to focus on those 2 points when you walk. And then hopefully you're going to feel a lot better full context. And then you're going to feel a lot more glute engagement as well. So just quickly walk around and see what happens. But get your assessment first so we can test before and after. Get your internal rotation assessment. Internal will be turning out. All right, cool. I see it might be we have a pretty good examples right here. So I'll spotlight for everybody here. Okay, so I just spotlight you. How do I pronounce your name?
Prentice.
Okay, Prentice. Now, I just saw your assessment. I think
Yeah.
you're probably going to be a really good demonstrations to show everybody. So, can you show everybody your assessment one more time? Just internal rotation on both sides. So again, turning out. Let's just do on right side. Okay, let's try left side as well. So that's about maybe 10, 15 degrees we're talking about. Okay, cool. Now take a look at the cameras. I want you to do this exercise, and then we're gonna retest your range of motion as well, okay? So really simple. We're just gonna do a pronation drill, which means now we're gonna teach you, all right, how to move your foot through pronations. Now, let me open this up. Now, let's try. So I want you to grab something so you can stabilize your body. Let's just try this on your right foot. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Ooh,
Sorry.
we have this. Yeah, it's okay. We have this echo going on, so you probably need to close one of your camera, I think. Or like you need to, yeah. Okay, cool. So I will show you this exercise. I will just show you the motion of it, and I want you to stand up. This exercise is actually super easy. I'll just show you the motion of it, and then I'll walk you through how to do this one more time. Okay. Literally that. That's it. But there's a couple things to point out is now you need to get into the stagger stand. So the right foot will be a little bit forward, the left foot will be a little bit back. Okay. And I actually want you to hold on to something. So you can hold on to a chair as well. Doesn't really matter. Okay. And then I want you to fully lock up your right knee specifically. Fully locked up, 100% locked up. Now, majority of your body weight. Now, so you're gonna put a 50% body weight at the front, another 50% at the back. But the 50% body weight on the front side should be about 80 to 90% on your heel first. So you're gonna feel you have a pretty good arch around your right foot right now. If you can feel that, give me a quick thumbs up. Prentice, don't have to do the exercise right now. I'll walk you through it. Okay. Fully lock up your knee first. Okay. Now find your weight on your heel first. And then I want you to find the 3-point contact at the bottom of your foot. Only on the right side though. If you can do that, give me a quick thumbs up. Amazing. Okay. Now, really, really deep inhale. And then exhale, I want you to move your knee relatively in a line with your big toes. Now, here is what's really important. Take a look at the camera real quick. I want you to feel the weight transfer from the outside of your heel, transfer this way all the way to the base of your big toe right here. So it's like a diagonal line. All right. Okay. Going back, lock up your knee. Okay. Inhale through your nose, exhale as you go. Feel the weight transfer. If you can feel the weight transfer, give me a quick thumbs up. All right. Let's just do the same motion for about 5 more times. And then don't even walk. Get on the floor. We're going to retest your assessment right away as well. And trying to keep your foot as quiet as possible, meaning don't grip your toes, don't try to make your foot a lot of tensions, just trying to relax your foot as much as possible. And you need to feel your arch is dropping into the ground. Fully lock up first on the outside edge of your heel. Exhale as you go. Kind of feel the arch is melting into the ground. If you feel that, give me a quick thumbs up. Okay, let's get on the floor. Don't walk, get on the floor. And then we're gonna retest your assessment one more time, okay? See if that works. Okay, now when you do your assessment, lay flat first. Let's do right side, right leg. Okay, don't have to raise that back. Move a little bit towards the camera, just a tiny bit. Okay, use your right hand to put it on the outside edge of your knee. Use your right hand. Okay, and then turn. Okay, I will say about five degrees better. One more time, slowly. Yeah, about 5 to 10. All right, let's get up, walk around just a little bit. Again, focus on those 2 points. Just get up, walk around. Don't really think about it, but focus on those 2 points at the bottom, and then we'll see. Can you guys see the difference in the range of motion? Yes? No? A little bit? Yeah, 5 to 10 degrees. Yeah, I mean, so for Leah, 5 to 10 degrees to use is not a lot. But for people who have this for only about 10 degrees, another 5 to 10, that's about 50% improvement right there. So, oh, lovely dog. All right, let's get on the floor one more time. Yeah, so let me see your assessment one more time. Again, still right internal rotations. Same thing. All right, turn out. Now, would you say it's getting a little bit worse after walking, Prentice? We can't really hear you. I think you're muted.
Do you say worse?
Yeah, you feel like you're getting better or getting worse after walking.
I think better. I
Yeah,
think,
let's see one more time. Okay, I would say pretty much the same. But you do feel you can turn, well, so right now we're looking at 25 to about 30 degrees. So now you're 100% gonna feel better compared to before you do the full drill, correct?
yes. Yes.
Yeah, so that's the reason why we really need to focus on the full context. You can do the same exact exercise and only focus on the outside, so outside of your foot instead of inside of your foot. And then you can always walk on the outside of your foot as well. And then you can retest your range of motion. Your range of motion will 100% get worse. Now, if you can't really touch the ground, like put all the force into the ground with the right full context, then nothing up in the kinetic chain gonna work. Your tibia won't turn, your arch won't drop, your femur won't turn, your pelvic won't turn. So it is really important to get the right full contact. Okay. Now, once we can do that, is really about, okay, now we need to learn how to transition from it. So number three, going to be the weight transfer. So the weight transfer should be on the outside edge of your heel, and then you feel like it's dropping, and then to the base of the first metatarsal head. It should be this diagonal line when you walk, when you do squat, when you do any other activities. Now, again, if you have pain, pay more attention to it. If you don't have any pain, you have a pretty good mechanics. Don't worry too much about it. So the goal is, once you guys are out of this pain, you can just do this because your body knows this already. But if you have this pain right now, pay close attention about your full reference, how you transfer your body weight. You never ever want to always walk on two and one. You always want to feel all three, but more so on those two as you walk. And that's how you unlock your everything's, not only just the foot mechanics, but also a lot of time. If you do this right, you're gonna fix your knee pain and also unlock your hip mobility as well. Okay, super important. There's so many different mobility trainings online, but if you just follow the principle, this is how you can get long-term relief instead of just, a bunch of a 90-90 hip stretch and your body feel okay at the moment, but a couple hours later, you feel exactly the same. And this is what makes a difference. Okay. Any questions? If you have a question, just raise your hand and make sure you share the win of the week first before you ask your questions. Yeah, let me remove the spotlight for you. Any question? Anybody? No questions?
I want to make sure I understood that when we're doing the putting the pressure on one foot when we're standing up, you only want it on the first and the third pressure points on the bottom of the foot.
So those 2 points when you're standing up. So standing up means when your shin angle is about 90 degrees.
Okay.
So you're not doing this or you're not doing that,
Right.
right? That just means setting up. You should feel more pressure around those 2 points specifically because we tend to feel more pressure on the outside. And then a lot of people just, okay, really, I can't really find the inside of my foot, so I just turn my foot out so I can feel more. But that's a compensation strategies. Cool. Any win you want to share?
Oh, yes. I can sit longer in the car without using my back cushion for my lower back. So it's
Cool.
def much better since I've started the program. Much, much better. My lower back.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah.
Much better.
And also, I think because we just tried a full drill as well, I think it makes sense to talk to your coaches about it, about, potentially we want to work on the pronation as well, because I think that exercise work pretty well on your body. So cool. Anybody else? Any other questions?
I guess I'll go. I always have questions, or I can always come up with questions. So for a win, when I went to the chiropractor on Wednesday, none of my ribs were in the wrong place. So that's nice. They usually have to push some of them back into place. So um, the all right, so let's start with this. If you're prone to overpronation, like you've had issues in the past with like flat feet, or your ankles rolling in. Like, how does that work in this context? Like, I understand that if you're prone to supinating, training yourself to lean back to the center makes sense. But what if you're already prone to being too rolled in?
Yeah, I think this is where, again, work on the full mechanics still apply. You still need to work on pretty good full mechanics. The reason why you have this overpronated position is basically you're not shifting your weight through this diagonal line. You're just jamming through the ground, essentially, right?
Mhm.
So again, that's not what we're looking for. So the principle is the same. You still need to feel those 3 points, specifically on those two, and you need to feel the weight transfer from here to here. Now, but for those people, I might need to consider foot, I would say um, specific insole, but I prefer more just specific shoes with arch support. That gonna be a lot better.
Mhm.
And as you correct your movement pattern with the right shoes for a couple of months, essentially, and then you don't have to wear that specific shoes anymore. You can just wear whatever shoes you want. But always have a little bit arch support. If you're over pronated, it can really, really helps you a lot. And also there's not a lot of good shoes anyway. So if you want to stick with that, with the arch support one, it will be a lot better too, overall long term because you have the tendency to go back to the old compensation strategies.
Okay. So following up on sort of that, sort of what you said a minute ago, turning your feet outward, like toes outward, is a compensation for what?
Compensation for lack of pronations. So
Lack
if
of
you
pronation.
can't really do that,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people will just do this, and then when they walk, they will be like this, right? So a lot of those people like they have dog feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad things. Normal compensations. If you don't have any pain, don't worry about it. If you have pain and your foot has been preventing you from actually progressing, this is where, we actually want to take care of your foot and duck feet. But just because you think this ugly doesn't mean this is a problem.
Okay, and then one more. There, there are a lot of bones in the foot and muscles and connective tissues and things. How does this pronation drill help with like rigidity across the tarsals or anything? How they like the bones in the middle can get kind of like stuck together and they want to move together?
Yeah, so the pronation drill is going to help a lot with the plantar fasciitis
Mhm.
a lot of times because the plantar fasciitis is you basically have this t big long tendons, right here, and then the pain is around your heel. The reason why you have that is constantly in the stretch out positions, and you didn't really turn your foot arch up and then stretch it out. You just constantly stretch it out. So the pronation drill will help that. But you need to make sure, okay, you're going back to this neutral first. So a little bit arch support, and then you can train more dynamically. So for people who have plantar fasciitis, um, they're not going to be doing a pronation drill first because you might aggravate their pain a little bit more because you're stretching a little bit further, right? So this is where, a little bit foot arch support, and then progressing from there, you can do a little bit drill, some similar drill like this, but I will probably recommend something more stable first, like a hold instead of a dynamic stretch, like a pronation drill.
How do you get the arch to come back up?
The arch to come back up.
Hmm.
So to move your weight
Hmm.
instead of here and get your shin angle to be more negative. So the first thing we do, lock up your knee, get your shin back, and then your arch is higher. This is how you get the arch to come back up.
Okay.
Yeah. So when
And
you
what
go
would a
forward, you can actually drop the arch.
right. And so what would a hold look like? You said like if you did a hold instead of a dynamic stretch.
Do you have plantar fasciitis?
Yeah, off and on. Like it,
Recently?
yeah, yeah. And Bea gave me a couple of things, including this. But
Yeah.
so just curious what the hold was?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is
A
that like the
hold.
leaning against the wall thing?
No. So a hold
Mm,
that will be pretty simple. So your back gonna be against the wall, and then you just uh raise your heels up, basically, and then you hold yourself there.
raise your heels. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
for that one, just gonna be adding more blood flow into the area. But
Okay.
cool.
All right. I think I'm out of questions.
All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? We got plenty of people on this call, but nobody have any questions. Did I just do a pretty good job on the presentations, or you guys understand this totally? All right, cool. So if there's no question on the presentations, any question regarding your personal exercise? No, no question regarding your personal exercise either.
I have a completely random one.
Yeah.
Um, if you are mm, if you're sitting on the edge of like a chair or a table or something, and you with your knees hanging down like this, and you move your ankle or like your foot toward the midline of your body, what is that? Is it external rotation or internal rotation?
That's external rotations.
External.
Yeah, external rotation at the pelvis. So you're basically doing this, right? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I guess that's why I'm asking. Because like your foot goes in, but your knee goes out. So you're like this and you're turning that way.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
your foot goes in and your
Uh,
leg is basically going that way, right? So that's external rotations.
Okay.
So internal rotation is like this. And this is external rotations, and then this AD depth.
Okay.
All right, cool. Anybody else? Any other questions? No questions. I'm surprised. Well, so you better be 100% pin free right now, or you need to have some questions. Anybody? No questions? Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I can end the call right here. Or if you guys have any suggestions on the upcoming group call topics, you can let me know as well if you have any in mind. Okay. Yeah, and then so I have a question for you guys. So I know you guys joined the program and really appreciate that you put a trust into me into this program as well. And so I guess my question is before you guys join the program, like what really stood out to you that make you want to give this a shot? Any content angles, anything that really you think, oh, this makes perfect sense, so let's give it a shot.
I'll say this much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content all across social media about stuff like this, how to what to do if you have a specific imbalance, but so much of it is just corny beyond belief. But
Yeah.
I was coming across a couple of your shorts, and you explained stuff really clear, got straight to the point, and even gave an example. I'm like, okay, this is the kind of stuff I can follow. And then over time, I saw enough of it that I want to take a chance on it. And that's when I reached out and talked to, I think, you and Daniela and someone else. And then we got going. And so I'm thankful. It's for 2 months. I'm just past 2 months now. And it was like really bad. I had an L4, L5 herniation, what, back in 2019. And now it's like when I do feel pain when I wake up in the morning, it's over toward my left hip, not in my lower back like it used to be. And this is just like within the last 2 weeks, I've noticed that shift. So it's definitely been working for me. So I just want to say thank you for that.
That's great. That's amazing. Cool. Anybody else? Like I'm asking this like just purely for my marketing purpose because I want to create better content, attracting more better client like all of you right here. So I'm just asking this like purely for marketing purpose. I mean, if you guys don't have anything to say, completely cool. We can just end the call right here, or if you guys have any questions, we can answer that as well.
I think for me, it wasn't, I don't remember. It's been months. Um, the the fact that I don't know, somewhere in some of the stuff, they like, if you've already tried the massage people and the PT people and the chiropractor people, and you've done this and none of it's working. So it's like, that sounds familiar. So,
Okay, cool.
and I think the algorithm threw up something of yours because I had found something from Connor. Because I know I had seen some of his stuff first. So, but as a layperson, you don't know what's wrong with you to know which exercise to do to fix it.
Yeah. All right, cool. That should be it, guys. If you guys don't have any other question, I'll end the call a little bit early. And yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to message me, message your coach as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. All
I'll
right.
ask another one actually, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
If you
100%.
have a if you have a like an injury
Yeah.
to the left ankle, right?
What kind of injury we're talking about?
I don't know. It was some kind of like 10, but there was a debate between whether
Okay.
it was tendonitis in a weird place that nobody should be able to have that,
Okay.
or whether it was tarsal tunnel. Like that's what the orthopedist said, like some kind of pain kind of across the top inner side of my foot. Right. Like if you flex it, then you can feel the tendons or whatever kind of stick out. But this side, not that side, and not from any particular injury. Um, because ligaments. So how might that like long term have like what kind of compensation pattern might develop from that like long term that
Long
would
term?
have to
Yeah,
yeah, like it takes you like months to treat something like
yeah,
that, right?
yeah. Do you still have any pain on that part right now or no?
Not really, no. But I'm wondering if the problem with my right hip has something to do with
Mm.
that ankle.
Oh yeah, so 100% bring this up to Haruto's attention as well. But the
Okay.
compensation pattern you're gonna find is probably, I can't say that for sure, but there's a really good chance is you're gonna tend to carry less body weight on the left side, carry more body weight on the right.
Which we know that I do. Well, I know that I do. You know that I
Yeah,
do. Right.
yeah.
So, um, but like it doesn't hurt anymore, right? It's not bothering me anymore. So like I would think it wouldn't still be an issue, but my hip still hurts. And the hip pain started after the ankle. So, okay. Yeah, I'll mention it to him.
Yeah, cool. All right, guys. So I'll see you guys later. If you have any other question, again, message me and also message your coach as well. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Take care. See ya.